You ever meet someone so sure of themselves that you just know, deep down, it's going to blow up in their face? That's how this whole thing started. Stuck in a job I used to love, and a boss who walked in thinking she could outsmart the world with a spreadsheet and a fake smile. It's wild, really. One minute, I'm heading up a creative team, 12 of us, running on too much caffeine and just enough insanity to make magic for our clients. The next, I'm watching some Karen from corporate stroll in, eyes sharp as a hawk and attitude sharper, making cuts like she's on a cooking show. And let me tell you, it wasn't onions she made us cry over. But let me back up a bit. Before all this, I had a good thing going. Started out as the low man on the totem pole, worked my way up the hard way. The guy who used to run thinks she was old school but fair. Treated us like people, not numbers. That company, it felt like a second home. We had birthdays, inside jokes, Friday work from home days, hell. We even had decent coffee. My team? Rock stars. They kept clients coming back for more, and they made me look good, sometimes better than I deserved. Then, like life always seems to do, the universe threw us a curveball. The old boss wanted to retire. He said he found someone to take over, promised us she'd get it, that she cared about the people, the culture, all that. He was dead wrong. This new boss, let's just call her Karen, walked in and you could almost smell the change in the air. She had that tight, painted-on grin, one of those I read a book about leadership once smiles. First week, she's everywhere, asking questions, making notes, watching us like some kind of management wildlife expert. I thought, maybe she just wants to learn. Maybe she cares. Nope. Pretty soon, the perks start disappearing. No more team lunches. Coffee? Switch from the good stuff to a bulk bin special tasted like burnt rubber and sadness. Then work from home Friday's gone. I kept telling the team, it's just small stuff. Maybe she's finding her feet, but deep down I felt the ground shifting. And then she calls me into her office. I'll never forget the way she slid that spreadsheet across the desk, numbers highlighted like crime scene evidence. Your department is our biggest expense, she says, voice sugary but cold. Yeah, I say, slow, trying not to sound like I'm talking to a toddler. We're also the reason there is any revenue. Creative's what we sell. She waves me off. We can reduce costs. I found a company overseas cheaper labor. Plus they use AI. We can cut 70% of costs and not miss a beat. I felt my stomach drop. So you want to fire my whole team? Outsource the work and let bot do the rest. She nods, like she's just announced free pizza for everyone. I'll need you to train them, she says. You'll be the bridge. I'll even throw you a small raise. Oh, that's stone. Not just the raise part, but the way she said it, like it was a prize for watching my own people get sent packing. I tried to reason with her. Clients come to us for our people. They know us, trust us, heck, they like us. She laughs dry, dismissive. Clients don't care. Work gets done, that's all. Right then, I knew I was dealing with someone who didn't care about the craft, the people, or the history. Just numbers. You ever try to fight a number? It doesn't argue, it doesn't feel, just stares back at you empty. So I went home that night and did the only thing I could think of. I call my team. We met at this dim little bar down the street, the kind with sticky tables and a jukebox nobody uses. Told them what was coming. Their faces, man, it's something I'll never forget. Disbelief, anger, a couple tears, then that steely resignation you get when the storm's coming and there's nowhere to hide. One of the designers, been there almost as long as me, asks, "What now?" I've been turning it over in my head all day. "I've got an idea," I said, "but we have to stick together. All in or nothing." The next few weeks, I played along model employee, documented everything, made manuals so thorough you could run the department in your sleep. Karen loved it, kept telling me how professional I was, how easy this would make things. She had no clue I was handing those same files to my team, prepping them for what came next. See, here's the twist. Our contracts had a non-compete clause, but it only stuck if you quit on your own. If you got canned, the non-compete was dead in the water. The old boss actually pointed that out once, laughed about it. Karen? She'd enforce it, if she could. But she couldn't if we just let her fire us. So we waited. I started dropping hints to our clients, just little things. Hey, big change is coming. Don't know if I'll be around much longer. Here's my number if you ever need help down the line. Didn't badmouth Karen, didn't leak secrets. Just honesty. People can smell the truth a mile away. Sure enough, clients noticed. They called, they asked questions. I didn't say much, but I let them know I valued their relationship. A couple even said outright, if you leave, we go too. 3 months dragged by. Karen let my team go, one chunk at a time. Each time, I watched another friend pack up their desk, get a handshake and a severance package. I told them this is your ticket out. The only freedom Karen ever handed out was by accident. The day before my turn, Karen calls me in again. She's not smiling anymore. Clients are complaining. Work quality is dropping. The new team doesn't get it. I just nod. Not sure how much help will be tomorrow, last day and all. She tries to keep me around, offers me peanuts to smooth the transition. I politely say no. I'd made other arrangements. That look on her face, anger, confusion, panic, was almost worth all the pain. When I left that building, I wasn't walking out, I was walking towards something. My team and I pooled what savings we had. Found a cheap office space, registered a company, got some secondhand chairs, and one sad little coffee pot. But we had something Karen never understood: each other. On launch day, I sent out emails to every client I'd worked with. The response nearly crashed my phone. 11 clients in the first week. 23 by the end of the month. Within 3 months, we had to start hiring. We'd become the very thing Karen thought she could replace. Meanwhile, her world was burning. The overseas crew couldn't hit deadlines, didn't know the brands. Client bed. She tried freelancers, but nobody wanted to work with someone who'd gutted a team just for a quarterly bonus. She tried hiring from competitors, but word gets around. That Karen rep? Poison. 6 months in, I get a letter lawyer talk, threats about trade secrets, and the non-compete. My lawyer fires back. I was terminated, so non-compete's dead. Client preferences aren't trade secrets. You can't copyright knowing that Jeff from the shoe brand likes blue over green. That was the end of it. Except it wasn't. The old owner called me out of the blue, said Karen wanted him to buy back into the company. She was drowning and needed someone with experience to throw her a life raft. He asked me to lunch. We talked. Before dessert, we'd sketched out a plan. He'd put up the money. I'd run the show. We'd make Karen an offer. She fought, boy, did she fight. Denial, blame, excuses. But the math didn't lie. Her investors were spooked, bills were piling up, and finally, she had no choice. She sold. To us. The day we signed those papers, her face was stone. Didn't congratulate, didn't smile, didn't even look me in the eye. She just signed, stood up, and walked out. All that bravado gone. Afterward, we rebuilt. Brought back some old faces, reached out to burned clients, fixed what she'd broken. The phone started ringing again. People wanted to work with us because we cared, because we remembered their stories, their quirks, their brand colors. We grew faster than I ever thought possible. New services, new talent, even opened a second office in another city. And sitting here now, I gotta say there's something about seeing karma do its thing. Watching a cost-cutting genius get cut out herself, it's a special kind of justice. But here's the thing I learned. You can cut budgets, swap people for machines, chase the next shiny shortcut. But at the end of the day, it's the people, real, messy, irreplaceable people who make a business work. Treat them like numbers, and one day, you'll wake up with nothing but a pile of numbers and nobody left to read them. So what do you think? Was I wrong to let Karen hang herself with her own rope? Where's the line between playing the game and standing up for what's right? And have you ever seen someone get their just deserts after hurting the people who made them successful in the first place? I'd love to hear your story. Drop your wildest workplace revenge down below. Let's see whose karma was the sweetest.
Cảm ơn tất cả các bạn đã xem video.